Hiya, and thank you for joining me here today for this review, I guess, of Pride in Brighton. So just got back from Pride with my family. We drove down in the morning. I had to get up at about 5 in the morning to have a shave, get my makeup done, get myself down and kind of ready to present myself to the world. And yeah, so a little bit tired now, but I thought I'd talk through what happened, what it was like, show you some of the photos and the videos that we took when we were down there, and basically run you through what was really a fab day. Spoilers, it was fabulous. So we, like I said, got up at 5 a.m. I did my sort of makeup routine, took me a couple of hours, what with, shower and shave and all the other bits and pieces that need to be done. My nails a bit short, and so we left about 7:15 in the morning. It takes about 2 hours to drive down to Brighton. Made it in good time, parked up in a car park which I remember it being £12 for 24 hours, but that's because it was discounted because I was staying at a hotel, and this time it was exorbitant. It was like 30 odd quid for 6 hours. It was absolute rip-off, but whatever. It was pretty cheap, in terms of the cost of spending for a hotel, because I can drive back. So yeah, but that was the only thing that was slightly irritating about the entire day. So arrived around about 9 a.m. and walked down to the basically down towards the beach area, down towards the pier. Had a wander up the beach. There's a fantastic place that we used to go to in Kent Town, which is called the Compass Point Eatery, and it's run by these two great guys. They have sort of an American pancakes and bacon maple syrup style breakfast menu, and they do burgers and chicken and chips and all sorts of other bits and pieces as well. But it's fantastic food. And they moved a while ago from Kent Town to Brighton, so they are now just about a 10-minute walk down the beach towards Hove from the pier. So not as far as Hove, not as far as Hove Gardens, but they are on the seafront, just down from the Hilton, if you know where the Hilton is, just along from the Hilton and the Grand. It's a lovely place. We had their pancakes with bacon, maple syrup, fruit, and it was fantastic. I love that place to death. They're so friendly, such lovely people, and the food is incredible. Can't speak high enough about it. If you go to Brighton, I thoroughly recommend, if you're looking for breakfast in Brighton, get yourself down to Compass Point, and if you're feeling hungry, order yourself a lumberjack or a lumberjill. If you're not feeling too hungry, just check out some of their slightly smaller options. Their kids one is fantastic as well, and their coffee, I love their coffee. They do a sort of unlimited filtered coffee that you can have, and their coffee's strong, flavorful, lovely stuff. My daughter had the milkshake, and that was like a banana milkshake. That was incredible. I drank about half of it because you couldn't even finish it, and yeah, I hardly ever drink milkshakes, but this was really delicious. So that was great. Loved the Compass Point. And then we basically it's around about sort of 10:45. The parade starts at 11, so we thought we'd wander out and kind of find a good spot and just wait for the parade to come by. And that's where we spent the next 3 hours, near enough, because the parade took about 2.5 hours to go by. It was huge, a lot longer and larger than I remember from previous years. I've only been to a couple of prides at Brighton previously, but this was way longer than I remember. So 2.5 hours to go by. And it was a sort of interesting mix of the let's say social outreach type things, where you've got let's say mental charities, you've got charities looking after LGBT issues, you've got local groups who are promoting perhaps alternative lifestyles within the LGBT community, that kind of stuff. All these kind of interesting fun local groups, and then a whole ton of corporate sponsors. So you had Wix, Ford, there was a couple of banks, You had Paddy Power, the betting website. You know, loads and loads of big corporate, Tesco's, Asda, loads of big corporate sponsors, and they're all handing out their sort of flags and their fun stuff. Now, my daughter did manage to pick up a huge number of sweets because there was a woman throwing sweets off the top of a double-decker bus, threw 3 to me, which I'm very pleased to say I caught all of them, just small sweets. But then you had people like from the Tesco float who were handing out bags of sweets, bits and pieces. The one thing they did hand out, which was really quite cool and interesting, was this, which I used to do these, as you can see. And I really liked this. This was a fun thing to hand out. It's this. Now, it's going to be very Tesco branded, so I won't show you that. But it's basically a stick with all 6 of the rainbow colours, and you can just, if I do this here, draw on a rainbow flag really, really simply. So you can put them on your legs, you can put them on your arms, on your face. I did it on my wife's face, and my daughter already had one because we'd already done like a sort of rainbow flag on her face for this morning. And yeah, she wanted that because we'd bought her the whole sort of rainbow flag set, all the nice colours, and then we just did this on the other side and we got this, and this was fun. So this was a really, really cool, useful, great fan brush, simple way to just get that flag onto you, and I love this. I thought that was a fab little giveaway. I like that a lot. The rest of it, sweets and everything else, the flags, all very corporate. I thought very interesting just to talk about that for a second, because to me, and I might talk about this a bit more, I know a lot of people, there was a lot of banners kind of referring to the fact that the first Pride March was a riot, referring to the Stonewall riots. And I was explaining this to my family and just sort of, you know, filling them in on what I know about it. And I'm by no means an expert on the Stonewall riots, but I know enough about it to, you know, to have my history on firm grounding. And I know a lot of people, there were banners saying, you know, the first Pride was a riot, trying to sort of, I guess, perhaps slightly remind people, or push back to a certain degree, that this isn't, you know, it's not a corporate sponsorship event. You know, it's become quite fun and quite a party in recent years, Pride. And I can understand why some people perhaps think that this is not quite in keeping with what it originally meant, particularly, and I'm going to say this now, particularly if you are of an age where you remember how things used to be, and certainly how things were a lot worse in the past. And the way I was talking to my family about this, kind of trying to explain this for me, is that if you meant it this way, those Stonewall riots back in the 60s, if you said to the people who took part in those Stonewall riots, how would you feel if in 50 years' time, Pride was everywhere, virtually every town had a Pride March, and that march was a fantastic celebration with usually lots of people lining the streets, lots of fun, lots of interest, a load of people just letting it pass them by and not caring. But you've got the police, you have ambulance crews, you have the fire service, you have the NHS, you have LGBT charities, support groups, you have like alternative lifestyle groups, all these people marching together on this fantastic day, and it takes place in different days all over the country. How would you feel about that being the legacy in 50 years' time? And how would you feel if joining that march were also big supermarkets, banks, big corporate sponsors, big companies coming out and saying, we support this group, we support this inclusion? I think it would be quite hard to imagine that they would look on that unfavourably. I think you can look on it very cynically, and I could certainly see the cynicism of it. I don't want to carry around a Ford branded LGBT flag for the day. So, you know, I don't want to take the flags and everything else, but, you know, it's hard to avoid the stickers. So you've got the Green Party. We have Samaritans, all very good stuff, all in favour of these. We have, what else do we have on me? Roche, there you go, so there's Swiss Pharmaceuticals, that's one, big Swiss pharma. We have Agrespect, that's another good one. This is great television, by the way, or great viewing material. Mentalk, that's a good one. So I was trying to sort of limit myself to the less corporate-y sponsors when I got my stickers. I think that's all the ones I've got on me for now. But then you've got your Fords, your big supermarkets, all these kind of big companies as well. I think that has to be viewed as a positive thing, because it's, you know, it's sending out a message, even though it is, you could view it cynically, you could view it as just good PR. It's just marketing. It's just positive PR for the company. But at the same time, it's absolutely positive PR and normalizing for the LGBT community. So I think, you know, to a certain extent, I think it's worth having, even at the expense of perhaps some of that original fire. But I think the reminder for people is that it's not, you know, we're not done. Everything isn't great, it isn't perfect. We still need pride. Pride's essential, because, you know, there is still prejudice. There are still people who are underprivileged because of their sexuality or their gender and their gender expression, their gender identity, whatever it happens to be. And that is important that we're able to deal with these things. So I think it's a necessary evil, let's put it that way. Or let's say it's perhaps even a welcome evil, this commercialization, because it does help push it out and make it widespread, make it normal. And, you know, if you're a, let's say, a vehemently anti-trans, anti-gay person, I think the less places you can find to bank and buy cars and shop that you know, that don't come out in favour of, you know, LGBT causes, the less places you have to shop, the better. That's my view. So, you know, that's kind of the way I view it. It's eventually pride shouldn't be necessary. It'll just be a sort of celebration thing. You know, it's like Guy Fawkes Night. It should be like Guy Fawkes Night. We do it because it's fun, it's a bit of a party, but we don't really have to worry about the Catholics trying to blow up the king anymore. You know, those days are gone. You know, we don't have to worry about those things, so we just have the party. That's kind of what it should be once everything's fixed, and I think that's what people are referring to. Anyway, so all in all, it was great fun, great day. Really lovely to be there with my family, with my daughter and my wife, to, you know, be out and about and saying hello and popping into Pret and doing all the sort of normal daily things that you would do. We're doing it with my family, which is much more fulfilling than, you know, doing this on my own, as I have done in the past, or doing it in guy mode. It's nice to be visible, nice to be out and doing these things. So, hope you enjoyed the photos, the videos, all of the information about what went on during the day. Hope you get a chance, or if you have been out to Pride, love to hear about your Pride experiences, love to hear about how things have gone for you. And yeah, in particular, if anyone has any sort of recommendations for other things to go to, I think London is certainly next year. I was interested in Leeds, but Leeds I think was today. Having done Pride Brighton this year, I think probably I'll give Brighton a skip for a couple of years. Maybe do London next year, Leeds, maybe both, something like that. And yeah, that would be fun. Incidentally, I'm thinking of heading down to Drag World in a couple of weeks in London. That should be fun. So yeah, that seems like a really nice, interesting day out. Very different for me, but something to look forward to. So I'll check out tickets for that, and yeah, maybe pop along, see if that's see if that's a good thing to head out to as well. Thank you for watching this video. Hopefully it was useful to you. Please feel free to like, share and subscribe. Click the little bell to stay notified about upcoming videos that I'm working on. And I look forward to talking to you all again in the next video. Thanks as ever, and bye. Bye.